Do you let someone else run your morning? You wake up, you reach for your phone before your feet even touch the floor, you scroll through notifications, you check messages from people who weren't even thinking about you 5 minutes ago, and somehow, without ever making a decision, your entire day has already been shaped by everyone except you. Here's the truth that most people never accept. If you don't control your morning, you don't control your life. The first hour of your day sets the tone for the next 23. And today, I want to walk you through 5 things you should tell yourself every single morning if you're serious about building real discipline in your life. Let's start with the first one. Tell yourself, today I promise myself I will be better than yesterday. Now this might sound simple, almost too simple to matter, but understand something. This isn't just a sentence you repeat out of habit. It's a commitment you make to the only person who will be with you for the rest of your life, and that's you. Growth doesn't happen in some dramatic moment years from now. It doesn't happen when you finally get the promotion, or when you finally hit your financial goal, or when you finally lose the weight. Growth happens today, in the smallest decisions, whether you get up when the alarm rings or whether you hit snooze one more time, whether you read for 15 minutes or scroll for 15 minutes, whether you speak kindly to yourself or you tear yourself down before the day even begins. When you say this line to yourself, you're not just making a wish. You're giving your mind a direction. You're telling it, today is not a normal day. Today is a day where I move forward, even if it's by 1 inch. The second thing you tell yourself is this: I will not complain about my circumstances, I will change them. Think about how much energy people spend complaining. They complain about their job, their income, their relationships, their health, the weather, the traffic, the economy, and at the end of all that complaining, nothing has changed. Not $1 has been added to their account. Not £1 has been lost. Not one relationship has improved. Complaining feels like doing something, but it's actually the opposite of doing something. It's a way of avoiding responsibility while still feeling like you've expressed yourself. The moment you stop complaining and start asking, what can I do about this? That's the moment you shift from being a victim of your life to being the author of it. This doesn't mean your circumstances aren't real or that they're not difficult. It means you stop giving them the power to define your response. The third line is one that Jim Rohn's philosophy captures better than almost anything else in personal development. Discipline is the bridge between my goals and my reality. Everyone has goals. Everyone wants something: more money, better health, a stronger family, a business that thrives. But wanting something and having a plan to get it are two completely different things. And even having a plan isn't enough, because plans fail the moment they meet resistance, and resistance shows up every single day in the form of a comfortable bed, a easier option, a shortcut that seems harmless in the moment. Discipline is what carries you across that gap between where you are and where you want to be. It's not glamorous. Nobody applauds you for waking up early, for saying no to something that felt good but wasn't good for you, for doing the boring, repetitive work that success actually requires. But every single day you choose discipline over comfort, you take one more step across that bridge. And here's the thing, you don't have to cross it all at once. You just have to cross a little more of it today than you did yesterday. The fourth line asks you to look outward before you look inward. The people around me are shaping my future, so I choose them wisely. This is one of the hardest truths to accept, because it means taking an honest look at the people you spend the most time with. Are they people who challenge you to grow, or people who make you comfortable staying exactly where you are? Are they people who talk about what they're building, or people who talk about who's to blame for what they haven't built? You don't have to cut everyone off dramatically, but you do have to be honest about who is adding to your life and who is quietly pulling you back. The people you sit with most, the conversations you have most often, they shape your standards, your beliefs about what's possible, even your vocabulary, without you ever noticing it happening. So choose deliberately. Spend more time with people who make you want to be better, and less time with people who make you feel like better isn't necessary. And the fifth line is the one that separates people who talk about success from people who actually build it. I work for myself, so I give my full effort, whether anyone is watching or not. Real character isn't what you show when there's an audience. It's what you do when there's no one to impress, no one to please, no one to notice. It's the extra rep at the gym when no one's counting. It's the honest work you put in on a project, even when you could cut corners, and no one would ever know. It's showing up fully for your own life, your own goals, your own standards, not because someone else expects it of you, but because you expect it of yourself. When you build the habit of giving your best effort in private, the public version of your life takes care of itself. Now, here's what I want you to understand about these 5 lines. They are not magic words. Saying them once in a rushed voice while you're half asleep isn't going to transform your life. That's not how growth works. And honestly, if someone tells you it works that fast, they're not telling you the truth. But here's what does work: repetition. If you say these 5 things to yourself every single morning for the next 30 days, something starts to shift. It's subtle at first. You start noticing small moments where you would have complained, and instead you ask what you can do. You start noticing small moments where you would have hit snooze, and instead you get up 10 minutes earlier. You start noticing the people around you differently, who lifts you, who drains you. None of this happens overnight, but all of it compounds. 30 days from now, you won't feel like a completely different person. But 90 days from now, a year from now, you'll look back and realize the person you were on day 1 wouldn't recognize the discipline you've built by staying consistent with something as simple as 5 lines, spoken with intention every single morning. So tomorrow, before you reach for your phone, before you check a single notification, before the world gets the chance to hand you its version of your day, take 30 seconds and speak these 5 lines to yourself. Not because they're magic, but because they're a decision. And every great life you've ever admired was built one decision at a time.